The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
A very pleasant good morning, racing fans, and welcome here to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing Big Derby prep action this weekend. We have 3 big ones. We'll start up in New York with the Grade 3 Gotham Stakes. John Service and Mischievous Alex. They're coming off 2 huge victories. Could he continue the roll up at Aqueduct? We'll take a look at that here on our opening segment. We'll also head west for the Grade 2 San Felipe. Bob Baffert and Authentic favored in that one. And the Tampa Bay Derby, a good matchup between Chancet and Sol Valente. That is also coming up in our second block, so stay with us for that. We'll also spend some time with Brian Sanfratello. Hi, everybody. Keith Jones down with the first 4 here at Parks Racing. My friend Dick Girardi. And Dick, it was a big weekend. How about not 1, not 2, but 3 Derby preps to take a look at today?
Yeah, and one involving the locals.
Well, let's start. We got a lot to get to, so we're going to start with that local action by heading up to New York. It's the Grade 3 Gotham Stakes, a 1-turn mile. Dick, 50 Derby points. If you get those 50, you're going to be in.
Yep.
Dick, Mischievous Alex. John Service goes up with this one. Another son of Into Mischief. He's 8-5. Dick, during his 2-year-old season, he went short, he went long, he was on the turf.
Yep.
And Dick, then they decided to put the blinkers on.
Yeah, and on the 5th of November here in the Parks Juvenile, he just crushed the field with Frankie, and that was the indication, hey, this might be the real thing. Went down to the swale the 1st of February, ran out the TV set, won by 7. Now it's Glenn Bennett, it's Chuck Zackney, it's John, and they're getting the great Kendrick Carmouche to ride up at Aqueduct, and he's the favorite off of those last 2 races.
Second choice, number 4, Attachment Rate, who is 7-2 here for trainer Dale Romans. He's a son of Hard Spun. Dick took 3 tries to break his maiden, so he's coming into the race off a maiden victory, and that came at the slop down at Gulfstream.
And that was a really good win, but it did come in the slop. Was that real, or were the other 2 races more real?
Mischievous Alex, the Gotham Stakes. Let's get the call.
Up the backstretch, Warstopper is the leader. Celtic Striker runs in second. Mischievous Alex is now back in third. On the outside is Untitled, who's racing in fourth. Informative is fifth. That is Flapjack in sixth, as Attachment Rate moves up in between horses from seventh. And then it's Necker Island in 8th. Far outside is First Deputy in 9th. Montauk Traffic runs in 10th, and a break of 4 to Sixto, who trails the field in 11th. The 3-year-olds head for the far turn. The quarter in 23-2. The half mile in 47-1. Mischievous Alex is now up to Polka, nose in front. Down on the inside is War Stopper. Untitled has gained ground. Then Long Shots, Flapjack, and First Deputy. War Stopper now drops out of it, passed there by Attachment Rate and Necker Island. 3 of them across as they come for the top of the stretch. It is Mischievous Alex, Untitled, and on the outside, it's Flapjack. Mischievous Alex down at the rail, trying to hang in there for another 1/8 of a mile. It is Mischievous Alex. Attachment Rate is gaining from the back of the pack. Untitled is there. Then Flapjack. On the outside is Sixto. Mischievous Alex has a 3-length lead, and he's going to win the Grade 3 Gotham.
A tremendous victory in the Gotham Stakes. Mischievous Alex, John Service, Kendrick Carmouche pulling away late to win it, and it's a pleasure to welcome in Joe Laro from Cash is King. And Joe, winning the big races never gets old, does it?
No, Winter Circle never gets old. Or the parties afterwards.
We know you love the parties afterwards. Joe, as I watched the race, it was not an easy trip. He was involved in a pace battle. I mean, there were 4 horses up front early. He really never got a breather, but he ran great, and he ended up pulling away at the end, and that has to give you pause that maybe he's got more in the tank.
Well, John does a great job, and Kendrick gave him a great ride. He came out of the gate firing, and then he held him a little bit, and then at the top of the stretch, he just took off. It was awesome. Katie by the door.
Joe, it's hard to believe it's been 15 years since the Fleet Alex, when all of us were out there having. Me, personally, never had more fun covering anything, and I know how much fun you guys had. What is it like to be back with a possibility of a horse who could be in some Triple Crown races?
Well, a Fleet Alex was a special horse. I don't think it's hard to compare him.
Correct.
And this horse, John's just did a super job, and we're taking one race at a time, and it's so exciting. It's unbelievable because you didn't expect it. So it's like an underdog mentality. and we like being the underdog.
So Saturday, not only do you win that race, you win another race on the card. Chuck and John and Kendrick. What did you guys do afterward?
Well, it was a little calm down up in the aqueduct. There was actually a robbery
Later.
afterwards.
And you guys were not involved in that?
No, we weren't involved. I just want to make that clear. Okay. But they actually ran out of money where we were at. We had to go downstairs.
I'm shocked.
To get
after you bet?
Yes. So it was actually funny. Well, we did a little celebrating, and we actually came home, did a little celebrating. But hopefully the bigger ones we're ready.
Joe, we tell the people that, if you want to get involved, go ahead, get involved, be an owner, involve yourself in the sport that we love so much. Can you even describe what it is like, as being an owner and watching your horse perform like that? Can you give the fans just an idea of what that's like?
Well, it's the most fun I've ever had. And, we have great partners. Chuck is just, you can't have a better mentor person than Chuck. He's great. He's great for the game. He's great. He's a great partner. He's so much fun. He gives back. He's so generous. John Service has been great. Glenn, unbelievable. Mike, the people just involved. Everyone wants to have fun, and we leave the main stuff for Chuck and John. They get us there, and then we take care of the partying afterwards. So it's a great fit.
He does take care of the partying, Keith. So I will still say to this day now, I've seen some great celebrations in my life of horse racing. Here's a guy who's involved in the Preakness and the Belmont, third in the Derby, but nothing will top the Arkansas Derby and the paddock scene from Joe Lero after that race.
It was just, it's incredible.
Well, Joe, congratulations on a great weekend, and best of luck with Mr. Alex as you continue forward. And thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we're not done yet.
Well, let's head to our first break. We go back here on Let's Go Racing. Brian Sanfratello from the Horse Breeders Association joined us. We'll be back with Brian after this.
Racehorses are pampered.
Treated with care and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
And they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
Who proudly earn our living.
In Pennsylvania's horse racing,
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
but it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs and billions in economic impact each year.
all across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Did you know the Pennsylvania horse racing industry provides health care and pensions for thousands of workers who in turn spend their income supporting local communities? And we do it with zero tax dollars while creating tens of thousands of jobs. Did you know absolutely no taxpayer dollars support the Pennsylvania horse racing industry? In fact, racing generates $1.6 billion that pays taxes, creates jobs, and more, right here in Pennsylvania.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. Time for this week's feature segment. A pleasure to welcome in the Executive Secretary of the Pennsylvania Horse Breeders Association, Brian Sanfratello. Brian, thank you for joining us and welcome to the program today. Earlier this year, Governor Wolf made an announcement in his budget speech that he was going to raid the Horse Racing Development Fund of over $200 million. Not good news. Since that happened, what is your perspective about what's going on in Harrisburg?
Well, I have met and members of the stakeholders have met with many legislators. There's a lot of misinformation going around in Harrisburg. I think the governor's been misinformed about some of the items that he's speaking on. One of them is the fact that money's going out of state. That's not true. The money is staying in Pennsylvania. Approximately 90% of all the money is reinvested in Pennsylvania. That's where the horse is located. All of the training bills, the feed, the hay, the workers, etc., is based in Pennsylvania. It's tough to get that across to people, because when when they say, well, there's it's all rich people that are taking the money. Again, that's not true. Most of my breeders are not rich. They're mom and pop small businesses, and I don't think the state is worried about Amazon coming in and taking money out of the state. Why? Because they're providing jobs. They're providing pensions, health care to workers, and that's exactly what we're doing through our small farms that we have across the state.
Brian, it is your breeding season right now. Have you noticed any reluctance from the breeders to do their business here in Pennsylvania?
Yes. Some of the people that were going to come in to breed have said, well, we want to see how this goes first. The breeders are always hit. Because of the fact that the budget speech comes out a couple days before breeding season starts. Most of our people have been real supportive and are going to breed in Pennsylvania.
Brian, you thought a couple of years ago you finally had solved the problem, and then all of a sudden this came up out of nowhere. How surprised were you that this was in the budget?
We were definitely surprised. It's really when we put the trust together in 2017 that Governor Wolf signed, by the way. We figured that the money is fairly safe, and it is, and we do believe that. But it's funny because you'll hear from Secretary Redding, well, we've given the racehorse industry and breeding $3 billion since Act 71 went into place in 2004. They haven't given us a nickel. That's not their money, and it says that right in the trust. The money does not belong to the Commonwealth, and they have no rights, to that money. So that's another misnomer that's been going around.
It's the casino money that, by law, because everybody knew horse racing was going to be impacted by the casinos, goes to the Horse Racing Development Fund. That's what people seem to not understand.
Right, exactly. And do you actually think that the state would be giving us their money? No. In fact, it's been the opposite. Right. Since 2009. They've taken $380 million from the Racehorse Development Fund. So again, when you tell people that and you explain it to them and you read the wording within the Racehorse Trust, it makes it perfectly clear.
Right, I'm sure you and the breeders and the executives are all making sure that misinformation becomes real information to the people in Harrisburg, and we thank you for your help in getting this over the hump and continuing forward here with the sport in the Commonwealth. Thanks for joining us, and again, good luck with it.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let's get to more racing action. It's brought to you by Chapin Auto Group, unless our emblem is on the back of your car or truck. You probably paid too much. And we continue our coverage by heading to the West Coast. Santa Anita, Dick, the big prep is the Grade 2 San Felipe, 1 mile and 1/16th, and 50 Derby points to the winners. We talked about in the Gotham. You get 50 points, you're going to be in. Yep. Dick, who's front and center, but some guy named Bob Baffert, of course. Back. Number 4, Authentic, the favorite at 6-5, another son of Into Mischief. He's undefeated, and he ran big in his 3-year-old debut.
He did, and I am told by people, friends of mine out in California, that of all the real Baffert 3-year-olds, this is the one he likes the most, and is getting bet that way. Off of 2 big races in his first 2 starts.
So 6-5 Authentic. You get 5-2 on number 5,000 Words. He's the son of Pioneer of the Nile. And Dick, he is also undefeated. While another Baffert 3-year-old undefeated, he won the Robert Lewis.
Yeah, it was interesting. When I watched Authentic run and 1,000 Words, I actually liked 1,000 Words race a little bit more. But when I heard Baffert liked Authentic more, I said, well, I probably should like Authentic more too.
Here's the call of the San Felipe.
Authentic is the leader around the first turn, opens up a length and a half. Storm the Court is in second, and 1,000 Words tucked in third, 2 lengths off his stablemate with less than 6 furlongs to go. Honor AP has 4 lengths to make up. Wrecking Crew inches up outside of him, then Fort McHenry in a gap of 4 to Swagsational. Past the 5/8 they go in the San Felipe Stakes, chasing Authentic, who's in front by a length and a half. Storm the Court is asked to get closer in second, 1,000 Words a comfortable third. Honor AP is 4th past the half-mile pole. He's 4 lengths off the lead. Wrecking Crew is outside of him. The gray is Fort McHenry with 6 to make up, and it's a long way to Swagsational. Authentic in charge around the turn, clear by a length and a half to Storm the Court in second. Honor AP moves up on the outside, trying to get into second now. Then it's Wrecking Crew. 1,000 Words has lost ground. He's 5 lengths off Authentic. As the field turns for home, Honor AP is coming after Authentic. Authentic the leader. Honor AP chasing with determination. Then Storm the Court there in the final furlong. And it's Authentic who's still very strong on the front end.
Well, 6-5 on Authentic, Dick. He backs it up pretty much going gate to wire. Did get a challenge from Honor AP as they came off the turn, but he dusted that.
Indeed.
And ended up going on to win by over 2 at the end, $4.40 to win. Dickey ran at 90 in the Champ. What did he do in the San Felipe?
Yeah, 98. He's getting to major Derby contender territory. He'll have one more before he goes to Kentucky. He's got the points. He's in. 1,000 words was the disappointment. He just didn't fire. I thought Honor AP off the layoff, I thought ran well. Certainly bred well enough. $850,000 horse that I'm sure John Sheriffs and that crew will go on. But yeah, I think the first two are legitimate. Beyond that, I didn't see a whole lot. Stormed the court. I mean, they probably should have retired him after he won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. I don't know when he's going to win again.
Yeah, John Sheriffs came out after the race. He was very happy with his performance by Honor AP. You know, that's you don't have to win that. You're looking for bigger fish in the pond. So a good renewal of the San Felipe. Let's get down to Tampa Bay now for the Tampa Bay Derby. 1 mile and 1/16, the purse of $400,000. Dick, the favorite here, number 7, Sol Valente, goes off at 3-2 for trainer Patrick Cone. Dick, he came from well back and won the Sam Davis convincingly.
Yeah, he was impressive, and he backed up 2 big numbers. The Mucho Macho Man, he was third to chance. He got a 95, then a 96 in the Sam Davis, so the legitimate favorite in this spot.
Well, he beat Independence Hall last time out, too, and we know how highly regarded he was, or he still is.
Indeed.
Number 4, Chance at the second choice here at 5-2 for trainer Savvy Joseph. Interesting to note, after winning the Mucho Macho Man, Dick, when he drew outside of the Fountain of Youth, he decided to scratch from that race and instead set up here to Tampa, so he's kind of all in here in the Tampa Bay Derby.
Right, so the plan was to run him a week before, so he was set up to run, and sometimes it can mess a horse's schedule up, but he made that decision, as you said, Keith, because of the post. He got a much better post here with the 4 with Chance.
Sol Valente, 3-2 choice in the Tampa Bay Derby. Let's get the call.
Relentless Dancer now going to the lead. From the outside, King Guillermo is there second. Texas Swing toward the rail third. Spa City is from between horses now fourth. Bye-Bye Melvin in the 3-path racing along fifth. Then it's 1 length farther back to Market Endless toward the rail now 6th. Chance It with clear racing room on the outside 7th. Then it's 3 lengths farther back. Mimosa is there toward the rail and now racing along 8th. Up on the outside, that's Unrighteous now racing along 9th. There's 2.5 lengths farther back. Sole Volante is at this point racing along 11th, and Tons of Gold is 12th and last. A half mile to run in the Lamb Home South Tampa Bay Derby. Relentless Dancer and Gallardo trying to take him start to finish. Long shot King Guillermo going after the leader second. Texas Swing is there toward the rail third. 3 lengths farther back. Market Endless set down for the drive fourth, and there goes Chance It on the outside, and Paco Lopez sets him down for the drive, and he's picking off horses one by one. But meanwhile, up front at 50-1, King Guillermo now going to the lead. Here's King Guillermo on the outside trying to pull a huge upset. Chance It is storming home on the outside. Inside the final furlong, do you believe this? King Guillermo at 49-1. He doesn't just win it, he wins it off impressively.
Well, Dick, no Sol Valente, no Chance It. I know you were all over this one. How about the 11 King Guillermo at 49-1? And Juan Avila, the trainer here, a son of Uncle Mo Dick, hadn't been out since November. Makes his 3-year-old debut at 49-1. Not only does he win, he wins by almost 5. Pays $100.40 to win. Dick, what a performance!
Yeah, it was. If you can just separate the performance from what the past performances were, this was sensational. This was the best Derby prep I've seen so far. A 99 buyer. But then you look back and you say, well, hold on a second. This horse has run once on the dirt. He was 6 beaten 11. He was 6-5 that day in his first start, so maybe something went wrong. Then he runs 2 turf races, one really good, wins by 6. The other one a pretty good third to Solo Volante. But you're still saying, like, where did this come from? But it's an awesome story. The owner of this horse is Victor Martinez, the really, really good Major League ball player who's gotten into horse racing. And, I mean, it's a cool story that across, people are into it. I got a text from a good friend of mine, Kenny Rosenthal, who writes for The Athletic. He's on Fox Sports. He says, what do you know about this horse? I want to write something about this. So from that standpoint, it's really cool. But I don't know where the race came from. They're training him into the Derby. But if he can come back to that race, he's a contender. That was a legitimate race.
$2 gets you $100.40. Not bad. Let's get to our next break. We come back here on Let's Go Racing. We have more action to take a look at. Our jockey and trainer of the week. I wonder who that might be. We'll be back with that after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing. We have to give out those weekly awards brought to you by the Turning for Home program, the nation's best thoroughbred retirement program. Log on to turningforhome.org. Dickie, Jockey of the Week is Kendrick Carmouche.
Absolutely.
Dick, how good is Kendrick?
Kendrick is one of the best to ever ride at this racetrack. He's in the Hall of Fame for a reason, and as I tell people, I mean, we all like Kendrick personally, and he's a friend. But once you get beyond that, he is a really, really good rider. He's smart, always has his horse in the right position, and I just wish someday he would get on the national scene, get some of these big horses, because you give him one, he'll do right by him, and he'll win big races, and this was a big one here.
And John Service, our trainer of the week, he goes up to New York and comes back with not one, but 2 stakes victories, including a graded.
Indeed, and they hauled about $250,000 the Cash is King and Glenn Bennett and the crew out of New York.
Dick, let's get to race recap, brought to you by Pewter Stable. Log on to their website at pewterstable.com, and as Joe Laro said, become an owner today.
Indeed.
Dick, we start by heading back up to New York, and we mentioned Kendrick and John Service. They were in the Stymie Stakes, 1-turn mile for $1.25, and number 6 Diamond King is 4-1. And Dick, look at Diamond King.
Yeah, he was 4-1 off the October layoff. This horse always runs really well fresh, and of course that race he was in against Maximum Security, not Maximum Security in this race. He's going to kind of cruise away from this field late, get a 98 buyer. Believe it or not, this horse is a full brother to Bellafina, the really good filly. And also they're talking about the Charlestown Classic next, which John lost by a half a length last year. Kendrick will go up to Chucktown and see if they can win the Charlestown Classic.
$10.20 to win on Diamond King. Let's go out to Santa Anita. The big cap, the grade 1 Santa Anita handicap, 1.25 miles. Big scratch to get box came out. Mid-court is the 5. He's the big favorite at 3-5. He gets a perfect trip. But here comes Combatant, who follows mid-court and then out-finishes him.
Yeah, it's nice to have a B horse if you're the John Sadler barn to scratch your big favorite gift box, and Combatant is good enough to win anyway at 9-1. He's going to get up and win this thing by a neck.
Good finish, pays $21.20 to win. Finally, the Grade 1 Kilroe Mile on the grass at Santa Anita. Grade 1 race, $400,000 purse. Number 3 Got Stormy. Probably not at her best distance last time out of Tampa Bay. She's back at a mile. She's even money, but take River Boyne up the inside.
Yeah, she's even money, and she runs against the boys and always does well. And I love the fact that Mark Cassie just runs his horses, unlike a lot of people, but she's going to get nipped at the wire by River Boyne and Jeff Mullins. This horse that just went over $1 million. This is the biggest race of it, the biggest win of his life.
Back-to-back rated wins at 5-1. You get $12 to win on River Boyne at the Kilroe Mile. Dick, Ion Racing, it's at Oaklawn. How about the Rebel Stakes?
Yeah, how about the Rebel Stakes? Last
Vic
year,
Stauffer.
The big man. Last year gave us Omaha Beach and a nose-over game winner and a great renewal, and it's always a neat race. It's the final prep for the Arkansas Derby.
More Derby preps this week, and of course, come out and bet them right here at Parks. And we'll see you for news and notes when we come back after this.
What does Chapman's 7 locations and 10 car brands mean to you? It means a huge selection of quality pre-owned vehicles, all makes and models, many one-owner low mileage certified with miles of factory warranty remaining. Safety checked, meticulously detailed, and each come with a free Carfax report so you can buy with complete confidence at any Chapman Auto store near you. Or shop online anytime at ChapmanPreowned.com.
If our emblem is not on your car or truck, you probably did pay too much.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate Tomasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
Standing at Diamond B Farm in Mooresville, Pennsylvania is Flashback, sire of Eclipse champion 2-year-old filly, British Idiom. And new for 2020 is Grade 1 Man o' War Stakes winner, Boisterous. New track record setter at Gulfstream, Social Inclusion. Grade 1 grandson of Stormcat, Talent Search. Graded placed Eastwood. And the outstanding sire, Uptown Charlie Brown. All standing at Diamond B Farm.
Welcome back, everyone, to Parks Racing for Let's Go Racing News and Notes. The final segment brought to you by the Granny Fund. Get involved with continued education on the backstretch. Do it at the Granny Fund. Bruce Casella, Dick Girardi, Keith Jones. Dick, one of our up-and-coming ump trainers, Jorge Diaz, came here from Mexico in 2008. Really kind of learned the game from the ground up. Started training in 2018. And here's his story with Danny Gibson.
Hi, this is Danny Gibson from the PTHA. We're a trainer at George Diaz's barn. George, you've been doing very well since you came here in Parks in October of 2018. First, we'd love to know where you're from and how you became a horse trainer.
Yeah, thank you. I am from Mexico, and I came here in 2008. My dad brought me here when I was 16, and he told me how to work with horses here,
He taught you how. So you started at Delaware Park.
Yeah, I started as a hot walker, and then I learned to ride horses, and I'm here.
What made you make the transition from hot walker, then exercise rider to trainer? What gave you that leap of faith?
When I used to groom horses, I used to love them a lot, and I said, well, one day I want to be an exercise rider, and finally I did it, and so.
Just kept working up.
Yeah.
Now, when you made that leap from Delaware to Parks, what brought you here to Parks?
It's because, Delaware Park closed every year for the winter, and then, in 2019, I decided to come here and try, because everybody said Parks is tough to win races, and last year I did okay, so that's why I said, well, I'm gonna stay here.
You've been progressively growing. You have a big barn of horses. You have a whole side of horses. How do you keep up with that every day? You're very involved. I'm sure you're very busy.
Well, I have to get up early and work every day, and I think everybody's working well, and we have a good team,
You do have a good team.
Yeah.
And you're regularly in the claim box. Is there something special you look for? I know you've been doing very well with the claiming ranks.
Well, I always check most of the horses, cheap races, 7,500, 10,000. And I know most of the horses right now, so I follow some horses, and then I said, well, I'm going to wait for these guys to run back again, and it's how I
And take your
that.
shot, yeah. Well, you've been doing very well. Just this last Saturday, you sent out 3 horses, and you had a first, second, and third. So you're doing very well, and we wish you all the success here at Parks.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We wish our best to Jorge. 3 Amigos, 3 Stables is his big outfit.
Indeed.
He's been doing an excellent job. Come out and join us here for live racing, of course, simulcast. We'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.